Right, what's going on, YouTube family? So this is like a quick play-by-play of the trades that I took on both AMD and on Apple. The AMD was from today and Apple was from yesterday, so we're just gonna have a quick recap on them. Hopefully we'll get to learn something. AMD printed an outside buy yesterday, which means we took out both the high of Friday and the low of Friday. So we have that right over there, and we also have this over here. Those were the I, and we have our I from Thursday, from Friday rather, and also our I from Thursday of last week. The upside reasoning part of the trade is that okay, if we're able to break 62 that we printed on Tuesday, if we're able to break through this 62, then we could trade all the way to not just the 63 area, but all the way to 64 on a good earnings. However, AMD missed earnings slightly, but they have a good guidance when it comes to their gaming. So AMD kind of rallied yesterday, after hours and everything like that. Now, we need to have on the back of our mind, okay, what else is going on in the market? The Fed chair, the Fed chief is going to be speaking today. And we're expecting another rate hike of about 0.75%. That is going on. The other part of tech is still weak, so anything that is rallying going into an FOMC meeting, it's more than likely not going to be sustainable, right? It's going to be a rally that we are looking to fade. Now, the question is, how do you go into today to fade that? So this is the play-by-play of what I did in looking at. We're gonna go to the 5 minutes chart. All right. Now, typically, I do not take my first trade until the first 15 minute of the market. You understand? I try to look at what are we doing directionally, where are we trying to go in today's market before I take my first trade. So what I did today was that, and I'm gonna put on my Fibonacci tool as we go through this. I look at the first move. This is the first 5 minutes of today. Of course, we printed red, and also what you want to think about is, let's say you swung earnings yesterday and we have about, I think the gap up that we had was about a 4 point gap up, I believe. The first thing you're thinking of is taking profit, right? So that is what we saw in the first candle of the day. People took profit, and of course, there are some people who probably they are long biased. They think AMD's got to go up, AMD's got to run. They're thinking maybe we're gonna run into FOMC. That came in right here that they either maybe people were covering their shorts, or maybe people were establishing a new long position. However, what I was looking for is, if we rally to that 64 level that we marked on the daily chart earlier on, is there going to be some weakness? And I want to, I want to fade that rally, join that weakness to the downside. So, of course, I held my nerves. I initially had my Fibonacci this way. Let's turn this on so we could see the other, the other percentage on it. Let's just have the 0.618. That's good enough. 0.618 and the 0.50 is good enough for me. So when these didn't work out, then I was like, okay, it's not like I'm able to shut it right off open right here. Then immediately the next thing I was looking at was a weakness around this level up here. So we printed what is called, it was almost like this was like an inside bar right after the rally to the upside. So I was waiting for a break of this inside bar. We broke below 63.05. I was holding the 60 put for next week, which I believe is 11/11 expiration of the 60 put, and I went short right here below 63.05. I actually held all the way. I saw this pullback when we posted this, this back-to-back green candle. That was it for me. And this was a straightforward, easy trade, right from it. And that's what I try to do. I like easy trades, something that I could just relax in it. And my stop loss for this trade was if we come back to break above 64.03. That means this is just a slight pullback. Sometimes it is called TTO, triangle day out, a slight pullback, and then a continuation. So that was what I was using as my stop loss. If we pull back into this level, I'm gonna get out of this trade. If not, a part of me wanted the gap fill all the way to the downside. However, on the side, I was also monitoring QQQ, right? Which is for all tech stock. In me looking at QQQ, if you go to the daily chart of QQQ, you will see that the range that QQQ could go was not that much, right? Was not that much. So I was expecting some type of bounce at this level, the level that I had marked right over there. Let's reset this chart so we could see it properly. So I was expecting some type of a pullback to the upside around over here. And I think one more thing that I was just expecting some type of pullback. I wasn't looking for the old gap fill to the downside to happen. And it was an easy trade for me, 40% at 5 contracts. Put that in my pocket, alongside what I was making on futures today. Now the other trade, this was from yesterday. Um, it was almost the same type of mentality that I had going into this trade. And let's look at what the setup was like on the daily chart. Now, in this trade, I used something by, I believe her name is Sarah STRAT Sniper. Let me pronounce that name properly because she deserves the credit for this. Was that we printed an inside day on Friday. I believe on Monday in Apple. It was an inside day. We didn't go long. We didn't go short. So the mentality I have coming into this was that if we break above 154.24, maybe the rally we experienced on Friday we continue and we come back to the high of Friday, which is at 157.50. That didn't happen, obviously. And then the short thesis of the trade was that maybe if we break below 151.92, we're gonna come all the way back to 147.82. Now, how did the execution happen? And that is the beauty. Now, the third thing I always have in mind is called the 50% rule. Once again, it's from Sarah Strat Sniper. Is that if we trade back into the 50% of the previous day candle, we have a chance of printing what is considered an outside bar. All right, so we're gonna have our 50% right there is going to be that purple line. So what I did going into the market, let's reset this chart so it could be once again super clear for all of us. And I did this also on MNQ, the mini Qs, futures. Was that immediately we opened into a gap up, and because the range of this, it was really beautiful. It was so clean. We printed down. We had an inside candle on the 5 right over here. I went short immediately. I went short immediately right here. I bought my initial contract, and then when we came to the 50% right over here, it was a continuation play. I added more to my position since we did not bounce off of this 50%, to start retracing and going back. We had that continuation. I got into this, and luckily for me, if I quickly pull up the daily chart on this side also for Apple, was that I believe I had the 50% of Friday's action over here. I had this 50% drawn, just try to see, because this was not that much of a big candle, just to make sure that that was in my favor, to the downside, and neither of these 50% was saving Apple. Everything in the markets was moving the same direction. So it was both yesterday and today I've been good in the market. MNQ was good to me. Apple was good to me. So was AMD. So that's the play-by-play on these. I hate to say it. Like and subscribe if you want to do that. But I hope this helps you in your options trading or futures trading journey. All right.